Tinker, tailor, soldier, sailor, rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief. Those were the answers in the old days, according to the nursery rhyme. Using flower petals or cherry pits, a young woman would ask the fates to answer for her the most definitive of questions. Whom will I marry? Tinker, tailor, soldier, sailor, rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief. The question was not an idle one, even for the nursery rhyme set. Marriage in those days completely defined the identity of women. The simple truth, metered and rhymed, was that a woman became the man she married. So marry well, little girl, marry well. A rich man or soldier, perhaps a tailor or sailor. Pray not a beggar, little girl, pray not a thief. Times have changed. Perhaps a more relevant rhyme for the modern era would be a litany of relationship options. Single, mingle, housemate, blind date, hooked up, broke up, on the rocks, bliss. But the most telling insight of the old rhyme rings true even today. The question may have changed from whom will I marry to what will I be when I grow up? But the answer will still be a list of jobs, of economic functions we perform to earn a paycheck. Broker, banker, teacher, dealer, stock clerk, phone clerk, pharmacist, bum. What will you be when you grow up? Later this afternoon, we will reconvene in this sanctuary to affirm by sacrament of ordination one person's answer to this question. Lissa Gundlach wants to be a minister. After 4 years of college, 3 years of seminary, 12 weeks of hospital-based clinical pastoral education, a year-long internship, an extravagance of psychological exams, an excruciation of appearances before the regional and national ministerial fellowship committees of the Unitarian Universalist Association, an affirmative vote by the membership of this congregation in February, and a unison proclamation by the members present at the service this afternoon, it shall be so. By 6 p.m. tonight, or thereabouts, Lissa Gundlach will be a minister. So what's a minister? Sometimes when people ask me what I do for a living, I respond that I run a not-for-profit organization that has a budget of several $1 million and a couple of dozen employees, and on the weekends I lead worship. This is closer to the truth than many people imagine. I spend most of my time as a minister doing things we never studied in seminary. I meet with staff members and board members, accountants and auditors, attorneys and architects. I raise money and set priorities, compose letters and conduct planning sessions, attend seminars and solicit recommendations. Occasionally, I go to lunch. Almost always, I take work home with me. For most of the year, I work at least 6 and often 7 days a week. By the time our national convention concludes in late June, I'm typically running on fumes. Fair warning, Lissa. This is not a job for the faint of heart. This morning, however, I'm less interested in what ministers have in common with people who lead other types of organizations than in what they don't. What roles and responsibilities are unique to ministers? What is a minister? In the movie Shall We Dance, Richard Gere plays a bored, middle-aged attorney who surreptitiously takes up ballroom dancing. His wife, played by Susan Sarandon, becomes suspicious at his renewed energy and vitality. She hires a private detective who discovers the dance studio and reports the news. She decides to let her husband continue dancing undisturbed. In the scene where she meets the private detective in a bar to pay his fee and end the investigation, they linger over a drink and discuss why people marry in the first place. The detective, whose countless investigations into infidelity have rendered him cynical about marriage, suggests that the desire to marry has something to do with hormones and passing fancy. She disagrees. The reason we marry, she insists, is that we need a witness to our lives. There's 1 billion people on the planet, she says. I mean, what does any one life really mean? But in a marriage, you're promising to care about everything. The good things, the bad things, the terrible things, the mundane things. All of it, all the time, every day. You're saying, your life will not go unnoticed because I will notice it. Your life will not go unwitnessed because I will be your witness. The sacramental bond that unites two people in a marriage or committed relationship is known as a covenant. A covenant, the word means mutual agreement, is a promise to bear witness to the life of another. The good things, the bad things, the terrible things, the mundane things. At its heart, the relationship between minister and congregation is covenantal as well. To be sure, the relationship includes other dimensions, such as that of employer and employee. But my unique role as a minister rises from my calling, my covenantal duty, to bear witness to your lives, the lives you lead and the world we live in. In my own understanding, ministers bear witness in 4 ways. As preachers, we bear witness to what is true. As pastors, we bear witness to what is broken. As prophets, we bear witness to what is right. As priests, we bear witness to what is transcendent. What do you want to be when you grow up, Lissa? A minister, you say. Preacher, pastor, prophet, priest.